Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
With just over 50 days remaining before the election, the vice president prepares to make a campaign stop in the Stateline, the city he'll visit for the third time this month. Sunday football is back. Fans might tackle the issue of which team is the best, but many agree that the NFL's return is lifting spirits across the state line.
Making music together is something that motivates all of us.
And live performances finally return to Rockford. Several music groups share their talents after months of keeping quiet. Good evening, I'm Hannah Zettl. Thanks for joining us tonight. A Rockford man is accused of murder after investigators find a body in Winnebago County. The body, identified as Andrew Warren, was found Friday off Prairie Road south of Springfield Avenue and Main Street. Special crime scene investigators were brought in and an autopsy revealed Warren died due to blunt force trauma to the head. Police later arrested Skylar Warren. He faces charges of first-degree murder and concealment of a homicide. He's being held at the Winnebago County Jail on $5 million bond. One person is hurt after a motorcycle and SUV collide overnight. It happened just after 1 a.m. near the intersection of Alpine Road and Broadway in Rockford. Police say the motorcyclist was taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. The crash backed up traffic for a few hours, but it was back to normal as of this morning. A house fire on Rockford's west side causes over $5,000 in damage. Over 20 fire officials responded to the home on North Burbank Avenue just after 11 last night. That's where they discovered flames coming from the back of the house. Firefighters were able to get the fire under control quickly. No one was hurt. Investigators are still working to determine what started the fire. Vice President Mike Pence plans to make a campaign stop in Janesville tomorrow morning. It's his second visit to Wisconsin this month. Pence was last in Wisconsin on Labor Day when he visited Dairyland Power Cooperative in La Crosse. He was also in Darien, which is about 20 miles from Janesville, on August 19th when he spoke at Tankcraft Corporation. State health officials report over 1,400 new cases of coronavirus. 1,462 new cases brings the state's total to 261,371. An additional 14 deaths increases the death toll to 8,309 lives lost since the start of the pandemic. None of the new deaths came from Stateline counties. Health officials say the positivity rate is holding at 3.7%. Tomorrow, Winnebago County health officials will provide a local COVID update. The pandemic continues to financially impact Stateline families. That's why Northern Illinois Food Bank and City First Church will hold their 8th food distribution tomorrow. It will run from 10 a.m. until supplies run out at City First Church on Spring Creek Road. Dairy, protein, and produce is up for grabs. Volunteers expect to feed 1,800 households. Participants are asked to clear out the trunk of their car before stopping by the area. September is National Preparedness Month, and emergency preparedness experts are reminding people to take action now. Some of the more common emergencies that take place in the Midwest are weather-related events like floods, tornadoes, and extreme temperatures. Homes could lose power for days during these emergencies. Experts say to stock up on non-perishable food items, batteries, and flashlights.
Look at it from an all-hazard approach and say, what do I need to be ready if something were to occur, no matter what the incident? Do I have enough medications on hand? Do I have a contact list? You know, we rely on our cell phones, but what if it's lost in an incident or you lose power and you're not able to charge that up? Do you have phone numbers handy?
Brown says the same goes for your car. Make sure to fill your vehicle with water, food, a first aid kit, and warm blankets. Sunday football is back, and no matter what team you root for, football fans in the Stateline are just happy to see the NFL return. Our Michelle Rave spent the day catching up with fans at some of their favorite spots to watch the game.
Football season is in full swing, and many football fans across the Stateline are excited to cheer on some of their favorite teams.
We're here to watch the Bears. We're diehard Bear fans.
I'm here to watch those Packers all the way.
Whether they were rooting for the Bears or the Packers, football fans came out to support their favorite teams for the first game of the season.
It's been a rough year with the whole virus. So with having this, it's going to mean a lot. people to come together, and they've been hibernating, and winter's coming on, and it's been summer. The pools are closed, no pools, so it's just been tough.
For Bears fan Rashawn Foreman, the return of football means a return to normal.
I'm just excited that, we're getting back to some normalcy. We definitely need it. With everything closing down, it's just great to have sports back, period.
And for Packers fan Anthony Hennis, it means something exciting to look forward to every Sunday.
I'm unbelievably excited. Sitting at home and not doing anything on a Sunday was so boring. And it's just fun to come out and see the camaraderie with everyone that's here. Even though there's some Detroit fans here, I'm okay with it. It's just fun. It's a good place to be.
From eating wings to drinking a nice cold brew, Patriots fan Teresa Martinez is excited to see her favorite team play.
Go Pats! You look around, there's bars packed, football parties are going on. Everyone needed this year, especially with everything going on. Baseball coming back was awesome. That was great. Same with basketball. But you don't hear about people having a baseball party or a basketball party, but there's football parties.
And these fans are ready to see victory.
So what's your prediction for today's game?
We're going to win. We're going to win.
Well, absolutely. We're going to win our division either way. We always do. So it's going to happen.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
Rockford residents are happy to see many forms of entertainment return to normal. That includes live music. There were a couple performances serenading the Stateline today. The first was a series of pop-up performances by the Music Academy in Rockford. Students played a rendition of their choice for those visiting the Nicholas Conservatory. Organizers say the young musicians were thrilled to play their first real show in months.
They like to share what they've worked on. They like to celebrate the fact that they have worked so hard. They like to be celebrated. And for us to get to be out of doors in this beautiful spot at this time of year in particular, I think is really important.
The pop-up performances were free, but donations to support the Music Academy were accepted. And just down the path, another performance takes place. After months without live music amid the pandemic, the Rockford Symphony Orchestra returns. The musical group performed 3 shows for the first time since March this weekend. It was part of the Live at Sinisippi benefit concert, which took place at the Music Shell.
It interrupted our season. Everything came to a grinding halt. It's been a tremendous financial burden for the symphony and for our musicians who are all independent contractors. So we just felt that this had top priority.
Socially distanced seating allowed 200 people to enjoy each show. Travel took a big hit during the pandemic, and Amtrak just announced that about 2,000 employees will be furloughed in a few weeks unless the government can provide some assistance. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Basil John is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Illinois Congressman Daniel Lipinski is upset by how Amtrak is dealing with the coronavirus pandemic.
Amtrak's announcement that they will furlough over 2,000 employees on October 1st is extremely disappointing.
Lipinski says his fellow lawmakers need to act.
Congress needs to act quickly to prevent furloughs and avoid long-distance service cuts.
Amtrak President and CEO Bill Flynn says $1 billion in funding from the CARES Act helped them stay afloat, but the company is still losing money.
We've managed to survive these difficult times for FY20, but unfortunately, our ridership and revenue are still down more than 80%.
Amtrak is now requesting about $4.9 billion to keep their employees working and their trains running.
As difficult as these actions are, if we do not take such cost-saving measures and fail to receive supplemental funding, we anticipate burning nearly $250 million each month.
Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry says he is skeptical of the rail service's financial request after examining their earnings.
The total expenses for FY19 were $4.198 billion. Can you explain why is this such a vast difference? I mean, that's a lot of money.
Amtrak says the expenses from the previous year do not reflect their current needs to address the revenue shortfalls. Reporting in Washington, I'm Basil John.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doom.
Here's a live look over downtown Beloit, East Commercial Skytrack, where we're overlooking a gorgeous Sunday here in the state line. Lots of blue sky, very comfortable conditions to wrap up our weekend. Temperatures are in the 70s across the area. We're at 77 right now here in Rockford, 75 down in Rochelle, 72 for those of you over in Freeport, and 73 for current temperature out in Galena, all under some sunny skies. Conditions are also a lot drier than they've been recently. All this rain that we've gotten over the past week has really made conditions very humid over the past 7 days or so. That isn't the case today. Conditions are a lot drier, just adding to that comfortability factor. And here's a look at where our temperatures were over the past 5 days or so. Just a little recap. We were down in the 50s for a high for a couple days last week, lower 60s for a few days as well, lower 70s yesterday. And here's a look at where our temperatures will be over the next few days. We're in the upper 70s today, upper 70s for the next couple of days. Could be nearing 80 degrees on Wednesday before cooling off once again by Thursday, but only down into the lower 70s. It's a very big difference. Temperatures finally back on the warmer side of normal, at least for a few days this week. Here's a look at a recent satellite and radar. You can see no rain anywhere even near the state line, just lots of clear conditions. A very large system of high pressure situated down to our southwest is keeping pretty much the entirety of the Midwest and Central Plains clear and dry for the time being. Now looking ahead with our futurecast, clear conditions are going to continue on through the rest of the evening and through the overnight hours of tonight as well. However, some patchy fog could develop overnight tonight and carry on into tomorrow morning. Could see some patches of some pretty dense fog for your Monday morning commute, especially if you head out before the 8 o'clock hour or so. A lot of that's going to burn off by mid-morning. And then following that, we're just looking at partly cloudy skies overhead for our Monday. We should avoid the rain, even though we're seeing a little bit of green popping up here on our futurecast. I don't think we're going to see any rain tomorrow for our Monday. A lot of Monday's cloud cover is actually going to clear up overnight and leave us with lots of sunshine for Tuesday. Mostly clear skies will be back by Tuesday. And so conditions are very calm here in the state line, but I can't say the same for those down in the Gulf. As Tropical Storm Sally continues to intensify down in the Gulf, it is forecast to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane and make landfall as such down near New Orleans. Right now, it has maximum sustained wind speeds of around 60 miles an hour. The threshold for hurricane force winds is 74 miles an hour. So this storm could very well bring over 10 inches of rainfall to much of the southeast areas along and near the coast. Locally, upwards of around 20 inches of rain for areas along the coast, on top of upwards of around 10 feet of storm surge. But things are a lot more calm here in the state line. Dry conditions lasting through the night as temperatures drop in the lower 50s. Of course, we do have the chance for a little bit of patchy fog, which could last into the early morning hours of tomorrow. Otherwise, very quiet tomorrow as well. Temperatures once again back in the upper 70s. Upper 70s, possibly even a lower 80s expected for much of this upcoming week. That is before a cold front moves through, cooling things down back into the lower 70s on Thursday. But you can see very few chances of rain, and lucky for us, no more highs expected in the 50s anytime soon.
Now the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
We've waited quite a long time for the return of football, so I won't waste any time. We've got a lot to get to. Chicago Bears kicked off their season today in Detroit against the Lions. Through 3 quarters, things did not go the Bears' way. They trailed 23-6 going into the 4th quarter, but they never gave up. Start of the 4th, Bears inside the 5. Trubisky links up with Jimmy Graham for the touchdown, brings them to within 10. Just over 3 minutes to go now. Bears marching inside the 5 again. Trubisky takes the snap, rolls left, finds Javon Wims in the back corner of the end zone for the score. Extra point is good. Bears down a field goal. Ensuing drive for the Lions. 3rd and 6. Stafford trying to squeeze one in. It's popped up, picked up by Kyle Fuller. Bears defense gets the much-needed turnover. Offense now has great field position. Inside the 2-minute warning, Trubisky in the shotgun takes the snap, looks right and fires downfield for Anthony Miller. He's in for the touchdown. That would do it. Bears score 21 unanswered in the 4th and complete the comeback. Mitchell Trubisky gets it done when it matters most. Bears win 27-23. Matt Nagy says club dub was rocking.
They were well experienced in that club dub there. That atmosphere was fun. It went on, and then at the end, we just, like always, you know, we were able to get a nice little breakdown, a couple booms in there, and then break it down and get ready to enjoy tonight, but then focus on the Giants for next week.
Aaron Rodgers and the Packers got things going in Minneapolis. Packers picked up right where they left off last season. Aaron Rodgers looked awesome today. Rolls right, avoiding the rush. Delivers this time to Devontae Adams with that toe tap for the score. Gave the Packers the 15-7 lead. End of the third, Packers already up 2 scores. Rodgers looking downfield for Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Corrals it for the score. Rodgers finishes with 364 yards and 4 tutties through the air. Packers win big, 43-34. Let's go to the Jaguars game for a sec. Check out this play. Gardner Minshew checks it down to our guy, James Robinson. Whoop! That was my best Chris Berman impression there, but he hurdles the defender. A no doubt top 10 play sums up his record-breaking afternoon. No, seriously, it was record-breaking. Robinson needed 45 yards on the ground to break the NFL record for most rushing yards in a debut by an undrafted player in history. Well, at halftime, he had 61. Robinson making it look easy, and he helps the Jags pull off the 27-20 victory. Cubbies played the Brewers again after last night's come-from-behind win. Safe to say they were still riding high today. Jason Hayward continues to mash baseballs, this time a double down the line and left. Drives home Kyle Schwarber in the 4th. Although the bats were on fire today, they were not the storyline. Alec Mills stole the show. Sometimes as a pitcher, it can be hard to stay locked in when your offense bats around like the Cubs did today. He made it through 8 innings carrying that thing that you don't ever mention until it's official. Mills said he had to go back into the locker room in between innings to calm himself down emotionally. Well, to the 9th we go. 2 outs. Ground ball up the middle, fielded by Javi. Over to first, Mills gets the no-hitter. The second no-hitter of the 2020 season. Can you guess the other one? Yep, you got it. The Cubs and Sox are the only teams in the MLB this season to throw no-hitters. Cubs turning a corner. Alec Mills gets the 12-0 no-hit victory. A wild day for Chicago fans. Sox won earlier. They now have the best record in the AL. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Look at the First One Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. You can see no rain anywhere near the state line. That's going to hold true through the night tonight and through tomorrow as well. Not expecting any rain for our Monday. Could see a little bit of patchy fog early tomorrow morning, which could possibly affect your Monday morning commute. Otherwise, conditions going to be very quiet out there. Another very comfortable day here in the state line with temperatures back in the upper 70s. Upper 70s is going to be the story for the next few days here, possibly even the lower 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday before cooling back down into the lower 70s to wrap up the week. Very few rain chances overall in the upcoming week.
That's all I've got for you tonight. Please be sure to wash your hands. We'll see you back here at 10.